What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So, I want to talk some more about the situation with George Floyd and sort of the latest developments that have been happening, particularly amongst the Black community and as well as Black people on social media, and just give my thoughts and perspective on the situation that's developing. But what also prompted me to do this video was watching a video by a Black male YouTuber who's in an interracial relationship, shaming some Black women for not supporting George Floyd. And, I just found that to be extremely interesting. Even though many a Black women or many a Black woman are supporting George Floyd, right? Many are, right? And in the video, it was full of double talk, hypocrisy, and hashtag alternative facts, and just straight out lies also. And I'm not going to name names because I don't want to get into no beef. I don't want no beef, and that's not what I come here to do. More so to talk about the talking points that were brought up, and as well as just other places in social media and on YouTube as well, like in comment sections and other videos and things like that as well. And as well, you ain't getting full free promotion from me. All right. So first question, first thing I want to address is, should Black people having non-Black partners play a factor in them receiving support from the Black community when it comes to situations like this? Should there be a debate at all? Should it be automatic? As far as automatically support, no matter what, right? Personally, I think George Floyd should receive support from Black people and just people in general, right? Just if you are a person who is triggered by wrongdoings and things of that nature, you should be supporting as well. And he is receiving support from a lot of different groups of people. It's not just Black people that are supporting, to be fair. I mean, Black people are definitely leading the charge, don't get it twisted, but it's not just Black people supporting, right? And also, should gender matter? Does gender matter when it comes to receiving support from the community in situations like this? Some people will say that, gender doesn't matter or that it shouldn't matter and that we're all Black, thus encouraging particularly Black women to throw away the Black woman identity in lieu of just being Black, right? Which will ultimately lead her to defaulting to a Black male identity. Yet shame her when she ends up becoming masculinized in the process. The thing is, you can't have it both ways, though, right? You can't have it, the feminine Black woman, okay, turn that off and now become the masculine, fight the power Black woman. It can't, it's got to be kind of like one or the other, And as well, back to the previous questions that I posed, I feel like if it's a Black man who got caught up, I feel like he got caught up and he has a white partner, a white woman or a non-Black partner, I'll say. It'd be like, well, the bigger picture, we should support still. And I do agree with that to an extent, at least. But, on the flip side, if this was a Black woman, would the non-Black partner play more of a factor or more of a role in terms of her receiving or not receiving support? I think it would. I'm not sure if people would be so quick to say like, oh, the bigger picture when that happens. It's more so, well, her white partner or non-black partner should be doing something. Where are they at? And that's a valid question, you know, just like it's a valid question in this situation, which I'll get into a little bit later in this video. All right. Could this be used as an incentive to encourage black people to date exclusively within the community? Like, oh, this would have happened if you date outside the community, both for black men and black women. You ain't receiving our support. We ain't coming through. We ain't supporting you. You on your own. This could be an incentive to do something like that, like, are used as an incentive to do something like that. I don't think that will happen, especially when it comes to black men. I think, the multiculturalism is just too strong up in this piece for that shit to happen at this point, or the pro-black multiculturalism, whatever we want to call it, the integration, whatever we calling it. It's just too strong at this point, and it's just like, no, 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 mm-mm. That could be my son. That could be my baby daddy. That could be my real daddy. That could be my mailman. Nuh-uh, sis. Nuh-uh. I gotta come through and support. I'll get into that a little bit later as well, because that's something that needs to be addressed, definitely. All right. Another thing I want to address and talk about is there was some artwork that's been floating around, particularly of a black girl, probably between the ages of like 5 and 7 years old, maybe not even that old, but a black girl who was drawn as a vampire. Y'all seen that photo floating around, that creepy photo, right? Like featuring a dark-skinned black girl as a vampire who just finished feasting on the blood of a police officer. What the hell is that? That's so strange to me. Well, for one, it's kind of creepy just in general. But two, it's like they're pushing low-key black girls at this point, not even women, black girls at this point, to avenge them, like to avenge black men, grown black men. And this isn't the first photo that has happened of something like this. We all remember that previous photo that circulated around social media, black social media, about the black girl in a tutu with a rifle, and she shot the two white men that killed Ahmaud Arbery. We all know that photo, right, too. So this ain't the first time. And it's a lot more of that being pushed as well. And it's just gotten to the point where it's just blatant at this point. It's not even like low-key subliminal anymore. It's blatant at this point, right? And as I said, the artwork was creepy, disturbing, and very, very telling, about who kind of like folks come to when they want something done, particularly in the black community, and particularly black men, right? Like, hell, this is brown skin and dark skins black women. This is their time to shine. Now the black community knows what a black woman looks like, baby. No more of that all skin tones matter bullshit. At least for the moment. Brown skin and dark skin, unambiguous black women are now the standard when it comes to fighting the power. When it comes to coming through fighting the power on some social justice advocacy type shit, they know who to come to. Right? The wigs, weaves, 4C hair texture, and bad attitudes no longer matter. Those things are no longer an issue now. You know, we got to think about the bigger picture in this, right? We got to get justice, right? And again, you notice that these type this type of artwork, it does not feature, rarely if ever, like say, the light-skinned women, the biracial women, the white women, the other non-black women. Rarely do you see that, if ever do you see that, right? And Becky, at least, Becky knows her influence. Becky knows her power in this system. Just like when, Central Park Karen, Central Park Becky, whatever what we want to call her, Amy Cooper was saying, I'm going to call the police and I'm going to tell them that there's a black man harassing me and threatening me. And she did it, and she made sure to put on the dramatics for it too. So they know what's up. All right. And, that leads me into the next subject I want to get on, which is, where are the non-black women at? Why aren't they being pressured, shamed, guilted into supporting like black women are? Where's that at? Right? After all, there is a segment of non-black women who date, marry, and have kids with black men. Where are they when shit like this happens? Because, white women especially are, white women and white people in general are especially good when it comes to making organizations for any and everything. Like, oh, Daughters of the Confederacy, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, PETA, the Tea Party, the alt-right movement, etc. All right, so where is this at? So where's that at? Where's the organization of like non-black women? It can be led by white women, coming together and advocating for their non-white spouses, boyfriends, husbands, baby daddies, whatever. Where's that at? Where's that organization at? You know, I'm interested to know that. You know, and also, black men who want to come through and be like, oh, black men have so many dating options and are the most desirable men on earth, right? And, hey, folks like what they like and all that good stuff. But I noticed that when shit happens like this, with the situation with George Floyd, that shit kind of gets put to the back burner. That type of talking more so gets put to the back burner at times like this. Although some people will come through with that talk still in times like this, but that's another story too. And then they come to black women. I always come back to black. I'll get into that a little bit later in this video too. But let the options, let these options that these niggas like to brag about, let them do some of this, social justice, mammy, mule, pick me, whatever we want to call it type work, fight the power work. We all know that ain't happening. We all know that. And black men as a collective know that too. That's why they come into black women. Right. And also, wasn't it like, the COVID-19 coronavirus situation was going to bring black women running back to black men? Wasn't that supposed to happen? Because right now I'm seeing the opposite. Another story there. But also, why aren't people, especially black men, going in on George Floyd's white fiance? Because they would go in if it were a black woman with a white fiance. Like, oh, her white fiance should be doing something. And I agree with them. Definitely as a white man, you should definitely be coming through and speaking up on behalf of your black queen if she got, caught up in a situation like this. And as well, even if George Fiancée was black, which some black women are trying to push the narrative of, like, oh, Shawanda Hill is his fiance. He has a black queen. That white woman, Courtney, ain't his fiance. And I'm not sure. To be fair, I don't know. I don't know. That has not been verified and cleared up as of yet. So I don't know, right? Shawanda Hill on the front lines coming through too, though. But Courtney, she ain't, y'all know Courtney sitting back. And I'll get into that too. um, so Courtney, spoke on the arrest of Derek Chauvin, which is, that police officer in the video who had his knee on George Floyd's neck. She came through and she spoke about that and gave her thoughts. And she said that she wasn't happy, but rather relieved that the first step toward peace has been taken. It took some of the pain away. And that's what she came through with. And that's what she said. And it's on video. You can look up the video and see it for yourself, right? I just found that to be a little interesting. She's still staying on code with it, right? Because she ain't really go in on that police officer like she should have went in on. At least they ain't show that part of the interview, right? If she did, but she's staying on code. She ain't throwing her white man under the bus like that. Even if she is or was with a black man, she ain't throwing her white daddy under the bus that has a system that benefits her. Shit. What sense would that make? You think, these white women gonna overthrow an entire system that benefits them and helps them get many a thing for some nigga dick? For just, the chance to be with a black body? And as quiet as it's kept, this system of white supremacy helps them get to the black bodies and nigga dick. All right. So why would she throw away that system and go against that system? As well as a system that still protects her and benefits her even when she is with this black man. Why would she go against that system? All right. And that's what some of these damn swirling black men need to get in their goddamn head too. Goddamn. I know that ain't every single swirling black man, in La La Land, but there's a segment that is, who want to talk about, black women, the chocolate KKK. Are you serious with that shit? Wasn't Stephen Jackson talking that similar shit about black women being bitter and worse than the police and shit like that? And then look what happened. Right? So be careful about shit like that. And damn, you got issues with black women, all right, fine, but keep that shit to yourself. And again, some women that have came through and said, "Oh, that ain't his fiance. His fiance is black, Shawanda Hill." And people, please be aware of alternative facts, half truths, and straight up lies in this situation, and just in general. Please be aware of that. And I'm seeing black women running with this narrative, especially oddly enough. And to be fair, like I mentioned before, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it seems like Courtney is being pushed as the white fiance. Haven't heard much from Shawanda Hill, at least being featured, at least from what I've heard. If y'all got some stuff and, some receipts and things like that, please feel free to post them in the comments section. All right. But yeah, so, long story short, black men are not going to be pressuring non-black women to advocate for them. You're not going to see that, all right? Because really that would be low-key going off code. Off code of not criticizing black men's dating choices, right? Because then the question would come up, well, if these non-black women aren't advocating and helping you, then why deal with them? From black women primarily. That would be the question, right? Why deal with them? And then they don't want to have that conversation because there's not really an argument to that conversation. So let's just avoid that conversation, right? So I also find it to be extremely interesting that swirling black men, and as well as non-swirling black men, are trying to shame and guilt and scare black women into supporting them and George Floyd. And also another argument that would come up was like, oh, you know, black women probably didn't want to date George Floyd. And then on the flip side, some black men come to, oh, I'm sure George Floyd has dated black women before. All right. And to be real, I'm pretty sure if George Floyd wanted a black woman, he could have got one. Didn't he have Shawanda Hill, right? Also, apparently George Floyd had dabbled in the adult entertainment industry, at least for a brief moment as well. His co-star was a black woman as well. I'm just saying. All right. So let's be real now. Let's not come through with the alternative facts and shit like that. All right. But haven't you noticed by now that it always falls back on black women? Somehow, some way. Black women ain't even involved in this shit. We got a black man, a white man who killed them, a white fiance. I guess maybe a black side chick could be involved, and his sisters. I guess we can count that, but those are the folks who are really playing a main role in this shit, though, right? And still, they find a way to pull black women into this shit somehow, some way. They'll probably try to find a way to blame black women for this shit, like they was blaming that 17-year-old black girl who recorded the video footage that has been circulating around and has led to the protest, and as well as probably going to be being used as evidence, right? They're blaming her for this shit too, right? So even when black women come through, it's like it's still not enough, right? Meanwhile, goddamn these Kardashians and Jenners and shit can come through, type of little something on social media. Oh my God, you so woke. Thank you, Kylie Jenner. You so woke. You so woke. Come through. That's what I'm talking about. That's a queen right there. Say a little bit of nothing. Say some shit that black women probably already said, if not even elaborated more in on, and all that good stuff. And still, the bar, it's just, the bar is set so high for the black women and set so low for the non-black women when it comes to this shit. That's another story. All right. And, again, it always falls on black women somehow, some way. So, these niggas know what's up. Whether they swirling or not swirling, whether they got problems with black women or not, they know what's up, and I'm going to get into that just a little bit in this video, too. But just before I get into that, I want to get into another thing, which is, we all know that black women are suckers for black men's tears, especially dark-skinned nigga tears. They love drinking them chocolate tears. And I'm just, at this point, to these niggas, I'm like, why you emotional, teary-eyed, and distraught in the first place, my nigga? Why you on some bitch shit, my nigga? Where's that strong black masculinity at, my nigga? Where's that big black beast at, my nigga? Weak ass niggas. And also another argument that is pushed out here is like, toward the black women, targeted toward black women a lot of times. It's like, what about your sons, your brothers, your father, your husband? What about your black male man, right? And both black men and black women are running with this narrative, you know. And let's discuss this for a moment. All right, let's discuss this. That is a very emotionally manipulative tactic that is very effective. But many black men will say that they only have an obligation to protect the black women in their families, the direct black women that they're related to in some way, not random black women. When it comes to black women getting caught up in, situations such as this or similar to this, which really is a flawed concept, because black men can't be with their black female family members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, So by that concept, their black female family members may not have any help if she were to get caught up in a situation like this, because, well, by the way you tell it, only black men should care about only the black women in their direct immediate family. So there, no black man or anybody would step in and help your black female family member if she happened to get caught up in a situation where she needed some help. You have to be careful about pushing that narrative too. But you notice that's not being, pushed on black men like that, Notice that this talking point, it never really seems to come up when it comes to supporting black women's issues, right? Rarely, if ever, right? Here in those situations, that could be your daughter, that could be your sister, that could be your mother, that could be your wife, that could be, your children's black teacher, no, etc. Like, no, that doesn't really seem to come up. Nah, you know, and relationships that offer no reciprocity are parasitic and toxic, really. I don't think you should engage in relationships like that, personally, just in general, really, right? Kind of like situations where someone and you guys are kind of like cool, but they only seem to come to you when they need something. Other than that, they ghost. When folks only think about you when they need something, that's not a good relationship that you should engage in. You should cut that relationship off, that person off, and end that relationship, because you're being used. And again, that's just in general, but it also applies to specific situations such as this. And as well, black women sell themselves short many times, many, many, many times, because they don't know their true value and true worth, right? So they'll end up giving so much of themselves, thinking that maybe perhaps these dudes will reciprocate, maybe thinking they'll get a cookie and a pat on the head, maybe thinking that they're being moral and doing the right thing, thinking that they're helping out their immediate black male family members. And ultimately, it doesn't really tend to pan out like that, right? And some black men, swirling and non-swirling, are scared. Don't get it twisted. Black men, you see many a black male celebrity speaking out about this shit, don't you? They look a certain way as well, if we really want to get into that shit too. They look like Floyd, George Floyd, and as well as the other victims of black male victims of police brutality. We noticed that, right? So they're scared because, shit done hit the fan. Shit got real. They feel like it could have been them. And they don't want to be alone on their own in the black struggle. Right? And to be fair, they probably should not be alone on their own in the black struggle. Even though, black women are often left alone on their own in the black struggle at times. But that was the story. Also, swirling black men know that they can't truly divest and separate from blackness, Blackistan, or whatever we want to call it. At least not in the United States. You know, that black shadow will follow their black ass until the day their black ass die. That black son of a bitch ass nigga, there ain't no escaping it. All right? No matter if you have a prestigious job title, no matter if you have an MD, a JD, or both, no matter if you a six-figure nigga, no matter if you swirl until you hurl, no matter if you have 1,000,001 biracial children and kids and whatnot, and no matter if you're rich and famous, none of that matters. You will still get the nigga treatment. All right? And I think swirling black women are still learning this, because, you know, they'll come through and be like, I'm divested with my white daddy. We about to move to Cincinnati. Right? And although I think swirling black women have a better chance of escaping, you know, quote unquote, the black shadow than swirling black men do, nevertheless, it's still a factor for them as well. And I think they kind of need to be a bit more realistic at times. And ultimately, because there's so much baggage that comes with being black, especially in the United States, you can't truly 100% divest. It's some aspects that you can divest from, but as far as 100% divestment, it's not by and large going to happen. All right. Because again, there's just so much baggage that comes with it that you just can't escape it. Like, the history of racism in the United States runs deep. It's at the foundation of the institution, you know. So it's not going to happen in this lifetime. But yeah, so, you know, that's why when shit like this happens, they start getting all pro-black with it. Don't get it twisted. They really being pro-black man about it. Don't get it twisted now. Don't get it twisted. But they present it as pro-black, you know, pro-blackness, right? And run to black women for support. You know, we got to be united, sister. Got to be UNITY, right? And we know non-black women ain't going to support like black women are going to support. They know that. We know that. They know that. Everybody knows that. Right? And they know better than to even come to the non-black women, like step into them like that. Right? You know, so low-key, the black men are selling themselves short too. Like, damn, you need to be making Becky, Selena, Sean Lee, Kim Woo work hard for the BBC. Make them put in some work before they get the BBC. But now that ain't gonna happen too. That ain't happening. Make them say why they are deserving of the BBC. Right. But that ain't how it's gonna be. So let's see what else I got here. Don't get it twisted though. All right. Don't get twisted. Don't get this all twisted. As I mentioned before, they're being pro-black for themselves in their best interest, not for black women or even the black community. Right? They're being pro-black for themselves and for them. You know, if they were not the primary beneficiary, then they probably wouldn't be doing it. Right? I'll keep it real. If police brutality affected primarily or exclusively black women, it probably would not even be much of an issue. But that's another story. You know, and as well, if George Floyd were a black woman, would we have the same energy? You know, something to think about too. You know, so I do think there's sort of like hidden biases at play when it comes to who gets support from the community and who does not get support from the community, or the levels of support. Also, George Floyd's friend Stephen Jackson said that, George was getting his life together. I'm not sure if he meant financially. Many of us fall on financially hard times at times, or if he meant, getting out of the street life, which he should already have been left behind. Like, he's 46 years old with kids. He should have been left that shit behind. Or off drugs. He and Steven Jackson do look like they were look like some former junkies back in the day. From back in the day. They do got that look. No shade, I'm just saying. Or a combination of the three. And I'm about to say something that may even probably be a little triggering, but what else is new, right? But this is a bit more so on a spiritual tip, which is like, perhaps this could have been George Floyd's karma, in a way. Like, George Floyd has somewhat of a criminal record. I'm not completely sure of all that he's done, but from what I've heard, he does have some arrest on his record, and serve some time. All right. And remember, those are just the times he got caught. Because we know there's plenty of dudes who be out thugging and doing shit like that and just don't get caught at times. Right. So perhaps that was part of karma. I also heard that him and that police officer, Derek Chauvin, knew each other, at least were acquainted with each other. So that is a bit interesting too. But Stephen Jackson said that, George Floyd was trying to get his life together, right? So was that all in the past, though? Because he did get caught on forgery, like a $10 or $20 check or something like that. And I'm not saying that warrants for an on-site death sentence at all, and that he shouldn't receive justice, because it does not, and he should receive justice. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, was it all in his past still? Because when it comes through on the media from black folks, it's going to be like, oh, he was innocent, he ain't do nothing wrong, and if he did have a criminal record, oh, he was trying to get his life together, black men are targeted in this system, and he was trying to get his life on track again, all that stuff. And not to say that that's not true, but still, But I guess his white fiance or black side chick couldn't loan him $10 or $20, apparently. And, also, gentle giant my ass, all right? Miss me with that, all right? I'm pretty sure, let's be real, let's be all the way real with it. I'm pretty sure George Floyd terrorized many a people in many a community, especially many a black men and many a black women, just like Tukey Williams did. All right, let's be real about that. Especially with that criminal record. Let's not come through talking about no gentle giant shit right now. And for some reason, the black community seems to always hesitate when it comes to getting rid of problematic black men. For some reason, there tends to be some sort of something to just, oh no, we can't do that. Something like, oh, he had a single black mom. Totally forgetting about black absentee fathers. Blame it on his single black mama, right? Oh, he just got up in the wrong lifestyle because of his single black mom. But I noticed that even with black men who would complain about, the thugs and gangster types, right? It's hesitation for some reason. Why? And as Stephen Jackson said, referencing Michael Porter Jr., a line in the sand needs to be drawn today. Particularly in general, but especially for, I think black women need to draw a line into what they will support and what they will not support and accept and tolerate. And now is the best time to do it. If not now, when? Right? And also, interestingly enough, Steven Jackson has not gone after Lil Wayne for what he said about this situation for some reason or another. You know, yeah, you know. But I'm going to bring this video to a close. But before I do, I want to, set some things straight. Just, some folks may be feeling some type of way or whatever. That I do think that George Floyd deserves justice. I think that that police officer who did the murder needs to receive the death sentence, or at very least a life sentence in jail or prison. As well, the other three police officers need to be put up on at least like an accessory to murder type charge. I think so. All right. So don't get that twisted. And I do think that Black people need to have unity, and especially in times like this. And we do need to support each other and advocate for each other, and come out and show out for each other and things like that. I do. But we do have to be careful and also have conversations amongst ourselves, particularly about what we will accept, what's not acceptable, how other groups of people factor into this in terms of interracially dating. We need to be cognizant of all that. All right. But nevertheless, I just got to come through and just keep it all the way to 100. All right. And besides, I ain't got no deals, sponsorship. I ain't got no deals. All right. No endorsements, no YouTube sponsorships to lose. God damn it. All right. And I am, at this point, I don't give a fuck about no damn Google AdSense revenue money. All right. And I ain't asking y'all to donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, GoFundMe, whatever the fuck. All right. I'm just here to give it like it is. Come through and say what the fuck needs to be said. All right. And that's probably why y'all come through and fuck with me. So I thank you. But I also thank you for watching this video, and please let me know what you think in the comments section about all of this. Let me know what you think, because this is a lot, right? This is a lot happening here. So thanks a lot. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.